Anna Mitchell stood at the window of her office on the 157th floor of the Galactic Council Tower. The three suns of Centauri Prime cast long shadows across the alien city below. After 5 years as Earth's ambassador, she had learned to read the subtle signs of trouble in alien body language. Today, those signs were everywhere. She turned back to her desk and stared at the data crystal in her hand. The information it contained had cost her best agent his life, but it proved what Earth had suspected for months. Their so-called allies had betrayed them. "Play recording," she commanded. A hologram sprang to life, showing a secret meeting of the Council's inner circle. The alien leaders, tall, short, scaled, and furred, sat around a table discussing Earth's fate. The humans expand too quickly, the Zarkak's representative hissed, his snake-like body coiling in agitation. They adapt our technology in ways we never imagined. They must be contained. The Mendari chief, a being of pure energy, pulsed in agreement. "We have already begun restricting their trade routes. The humans suspect nothing." Anna's hands shook with anger. Earth had fought beside these species during the Sworn War. Human soldiers had died protecting their worlds. Now they planned to strangle humanity's growth in return. She pressed a button on her desk. "Get me Commander David Foster on a secure line." Moments later, the gruff face of Earth's head of defense appeared. His gray hair was messy, and dark circles under his eyes suggested he hadn't slept. "Ambassador Mitchell," he said, "please tell me you have answers." "It's worse than we thought, David. The trade problems, the missing ships, the technology failures. It's all deliberate. I'm sending you proof now." Commander Foster's face darkened as he watched the recording. "Those backstabbing." He took a deep breath. "We've detected large fleet movements near New Eden Colony. I thought they were routine patrols." "They're not patrols," Anna said. "They're preparing to contain us by force if necessary. The Council thinks we're too dangerous to allow free expansion. What do you recommend?" Anna looked out at the alien city again. "I'll file a formal protest with the Council, but they'll dismiss it. They always do. We need to prepare quietly. How many ships can we hide from their sensors?" "Not enough," Foster replied. "But I know some people who can help with that." "What about the colonists?" "Warn them, but carefully. We can't let the Council know we've discovered their plan. New Eden is particularly vulnerable. Make sure Governor Cooper understands the situation." A soft chime interrupted them. "Ambassador Mitchell, the Council requests your presence for an emergency session," her AI assistant announced. "They're moving faster than we expected," Foster said. "Be careful, Anna. We both know what happens to species that the Council considers problematic." Anna straightened her uniform and grabbed her datapad. "They think they know humans, David. They think we're predictable. But they've never seen humanity with its back against the wall." She walked toward the Council chambers, her mind racing. The aliens thought they were being clever, using bureaucracy and fake diplomatic smiles to hide their true intentions. They had studied human history, human biology, and human technology. But they had missed something fundamental about the species they sought to contain. Humans didn't just adapt. They thrived on challenge. And now, thanks to their enemies' own arrogance, humanity would have time to prepare. The storm was coming, but not the one the Council expected. As the massive doors to the Council chamber opened, Anna put on her best diplomatic smile. Let them think she was just another naive human ambassador. Let them think humanity would accept their chains without fighting back. The Council members sat in their elevated seats, looking down at her with what they thought was well-concealed contempt. The Zarkak's representative flicked his tongue, tasting her emotions for signs of suspicion. "Ambassador Mitchell," the Council leader began, "we have concerns about recent human military exercises near the Outer Rim." "Of course," Anna replied smoothly. "I'd be happy to address those concerns. The game would continue for now. But back on Earth, Commander Foster would be mobilizing humanity's response. In labs and shipyards across human space, the wheels would begin turning. The storm was gathering, and when it broke, their former allies would learn why ancient human warriors had prayed not for safety, but for strength to face the storm themselves. The alarms on New Eden Colony blared at 3 a.m. Earth Standard Time. Governor Frank Cooper jumped out of bed, his heart pounding. The emergency lights bathed his room in red. Status report. He barked at the colony's eye. Multiple enemy ships detected. Zarkak signatures confirmed. They've already destroyed our outer defense satellites. Cooper ran to the command center in his sleek clothes. Nobody cared about formality now. On the main screen, dozens of enemy ships appeared as red dots surrounding their colony. Lieutenant Susan Hayes was already at her station, her fingers flying over the controls. "Sir, they're jamming our long-range communications. We can't call Earth for help." "How many ships do we have?" Cooper asked. 3 patrol vessels and a cargo ship. We might be able to arm," Susan replied. Her young face was determined, even though they both knew those odds were terrible. The first shots hit New Eden's shields. The whole building shook. Through the windows, Cooper saw the bubble of energy protecting their colony flicker dangerously. "Get me ship-to-ship communications," Cooper ordered. "I want to know why they're attacking us." The main screen flickered to life. A Zarkak's commander appeared, his scaled face showing what passed for a smile in his species. "Governor Cooper," the alien said, "surrender your colony, and we will allow your people to leave with basic supplies." "We are a peaceful colony," Cooper replied, trying to stay calm. "We have treaties." "Treaties that no longer matter," the Zarkak's commander cut him off. "Your species has been deemed too dangerous. This is your only warning." The screen went dark. Cooper looked at his team. They were young, scared, but ready to fight. "Lieutenant Hayes, start the evacuation. Get everyone to the underground shelters. Marcus, tell the ships to launch." "Sir," Susan looked worried. "Our ships don't stand a chance against their fleet." Cooper managed a grim smile. "They don't need to win. They just need to buy us time." The next hour was chaos. Susan coordinated the defense while Cooper led the evacuation. Parents carried sleeping children. Medical staff moved critical patients. The colony's 3,000 people headed underground as explosions rocked the surface. In space, the human ships fought with everything they had. They were older models, not meant for heavy combat, but their crews were creative. They used mining lasers as weapons. They turned cargo containers into mines. "Sir," Susan's voice was excited. "Look at these readings from the enemy ships." Cooper rushed to her station. The data showed something strange. The Zarkak's weapons were strong, but their shields had a flaw. Every time they fired, there was a tiny power drop. "Send this to all our ships," Cooper ordered. "Tell them to time their shots with the enemy's weapons." It wasn't much, but it helped. One human ship managed to destroy 2 enemy vessels before being disabled. The others caused enough damage to make the Zarkaks cautious. Then Cooper's personal communicator buzzed. It was a short-range emergency signal from Earth. The message was brief. "Multiple colonies under attack. Hold out. Help coming. Authorization. Commander Foster." "Lieutenant Hayes," Cooper said quietly, "we're not alone. Other colonies are being hit too." Susan's face hardened. "Those snakes planned this. Hit us all at once while pretending to be our friends." Another blast rocked the colony. The main shields were failing, but the evacuation was almost complete, and the underground shelters were built to withstand bombardment. "Send this message to all our people," Cooper said. "The Zarkaks think they know humans. They think they can break us. But every human child learns about times when we faced impossible odds. We survived ice ages with sticks and stones. We crossed oceans in wooden boats. We reached the stars when they said we couldn't." He looked at the enemy ships on the screen. "They want to see humanity's true nature. Fine, Let's show them what happens when you corner a species that turned predators into pets and split atoms for power. The shelter doors sealed just as the main shields failed, but in the darkness underground, humans did what they always did. They planned. They adapted. They prepared. And in orbit, the disabled human ships transmitted everything they learned about Zarkak's weapons and shields back to Earth. The enemy's first strike had hurt them, but it had also given humanity its first crucial pieces of information. The storm was only beginning. The United Defense Council room was silent except for the hum of holographic displays. Each screen showed another human colony under attack or blockade. Admiral Rachel Wilson stood at the center of the room, her silver hair neat despite 3 days without sleep. "Ladies and gentlemen," she said, "in the past week, we've lost contact with 7 colonies. New Eden is under siege. Mars Station reports enemy ships in orbit. We're alone in this fight." Around the table, Earth's military and scientific leaders looked grim. They had trusted the alien species, traded with them, fought beside them. Now those same allies watched as the Zarkaks tried to crush humanity. "What about our remaining ships?" General Martinez asked. "Not enough," Rachel replied. "But I have a plan. Dr. Parker, show them Project Stormfront." Dr. Brian Parker stepped forward. He was young for his position, barely 40, with kind eyes that hid a brilliant mind. He pressed a button, and a new hologram appeared. "For the past 3 years," he said, "my team has been secretly studying alien technology, not just how to use it, how to make it better." He showed them a strange-looking engine design. "The aliens think they understand how humans work with technology. They're wrong." The room stirred with interest. Dr. Parker continued, "Humans do something no other species does. We don't just follow instructions. We break things apart to see how they work. We try things that shouldn't work. And sometimes, we discover things the aliens never imagined." He pressed another button. The hologram changed to show a new kind of ship. "This is Project Stormfront. It combines human eye with alien quantum tech in ways they think are impossible. We've built 3 prototypes in underground facilities." Admiral Wilson took over. "The Zarkaks and their allies think they've trapped us. They expect us to beg for mercy or fight a hopeless battle with outdated ships. Instead, we're going to show them humanity's greatest strength, our ability to turn desperation into innovation." "How long until the ships are ready?" someone asked. 2 weeks, Dr. Parker answered. "But we need to high our preparations. The enemy is watching." Rachel pointed to the colony displays. "That's where Governor Cooper comes in. New Eden's resistance is drawing their attention. The Zarkaks think they're just facing brave but doomed humans fighting with old technology. They don't realize every battle is teaching us about their weaknesses." "What about our people on those colonies?" General Martinez looked worried. "They're stronger than the aliens know," Rachel said. "The Zarkaks think humans give up when things get hard. They don't understand that humans are most dangerous when backed into a corner." Dr. Parker showed them more designs. "We've also found a way to improve their shield technology. The aliens use quantum fields in straight patterns. Humans thought differently. We made the patterns spiral, like a storm. It uses less power and works better." The council members started to look hopeful for the first time in days. This was what humans did best: take an impossible situation and find a way through it. "There's more," Rachel said. She nodded to a woman in the corner. Dr. Lisa Crawford stood up. She was small, quiet, and had just made one of the biggest breakthroughs in human history. "The aliens think they understand quantum mechanics," Lisa said softly. "But they all think the same way. Humans look at problems differently. We found a way to use quantum fields that no other species has tried. They're going to think it's impossible until it hits them." Admiral Wilson looked at each person in the room. "I won't lie. The next few weeks will be hard. We'll lose more colonies. Good people will die. But every day we hold out is another day we get stronger. When we finally strike back, The storm we bring will be unlike anything they've ever seen. The council voted unanimously to approve Project Stormfront. As they left the room, Dr. Parker caught up with Admiral Wilson. "Rachel," he said quietly, "even with these advances, we're still outnumbered. The Zarkax fleet is huge." She smiled. "Numbers don't tell the whole story, Brian. The aliens look at humans and see a young, weak species. They should have looked harder. They should have asked themselves why humans went from cave paintings to spaceflight so fast. Why we never stopped pushing boundaries." She looked at the star map showing Earth's enemies closing in. They're about to learn what humans are really capable of. And by the time they realize their mistake, the storm will already be upon them. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, Captain Mark Stevens watched robots build humanity's new ships. The underground facility stretched for miles, hidden from enemy sensors. The sound of machinery filled the air as Project Stormfront took shape. "How many ships completed?" he asked his assistant. 5 ships ready, sir. 3 more will be done by tomorrow." Mark nodded. On the surface, Earth looked defeated. Ships stayed in port. Factories appeared closed. The aliens watched and thought humans were giving up. They couldn't see what was happening underground. In another part of the facility, Amy Roberts and John Kelly worked on the new weapons systems. They had been engineers before the attacks. Now they were creating things no human had built before. "Look at this," Amy said, pointing to her screen. She had found a way to combine human and alien computer systems. Their eye is so straight line. It only thinks one way. But when we add human eye, John grinned, it thinks like us. It finds new solutions. They watched as their hybrid system solved problems in ways that should be impossible. The aliens had rules about how technology should work. Humans didn't care about those rules. Above them, in orbit, Earth's old ships played their part. They patrolled slowly, looking weak and tired. Alien watchers saw exactly what humans wanted them to see. But Captain Stevens knew better. Every patrol was a test. Every seeming mistake was planned. The aliens were learning the wrong lessons about human capabilities. "Captain," his AI called, "Dr. Lisa Crawford wants to show you something." In her lab, Lisa was practically jumping with excitement. "We did it," she said. "Watch this." She turned on her new shield device. The energy field looked normal at first. Then it started to move like flowing water, shifting and changing. "Standard alien shields are fixed," she explained. "Hit them hard enough in one spot, they break. But we made ours move like a storm. The harder you hit it, the more it spins and deflects energy." Mark touched the shield. It felt like standing in a warm wind. "Will it work on the new ships?" "Better than we hoped," Lisa said. "And the aliens won't understand how we did it. Their science says this is impossible." His communicator buzzed. A message from Admiral Wilson appeared. "Enemy fleet growing near Mars. They're getting ready for something big." Mark shared the news with Lisa. She wasn't worried. "Let them come," she said. "Every alien ship that shows up is one more that will see what humans can really do." In another underground base, Dr. Brian Parker worked with his team on the quantum engines. They had taken alien technology and rebuilt it the human way. The results were shocking. "The aliens use quantum fields like highways," he told his team. "Straight lines from point A to point B. We humans looked at it and asked, why not make the road twist? Why not make it spiral?" One of his assistants raised her hand. "But sir, the aliens say that's not possible." Brian smiled. "The aliens say a lot of things are impossible. But humans, we don't like being told what we can't do." The new engines used half the power and moved twice as fast as alien designs. But that wasn't the best part. The aliens wouldn't be able to track them because they didn't follow the rules of quantum physics. Back in the main facility, Captain Stevens checked the daily reports. New Eden was still holding out, teaching them more about enemy tactics every day. Other colonies sent secret messages about alien patrol patterns. "Sir," His AI interrupted. Commander Foster's weekly update is ready. The report was good. Earth's enemies thought they were winning. They saw humans using old ships, failing shields, and basic weapons. They didn't know about the underground factories. They hadn't guessed that every human defeat was teaching them how to win. Send this to Admiral Wilson, Mark ordered. Phase 1 is almost complete. The storm is ready. He looked at the newest ship, its hull gleaming under the work lights. Humans had named their ships after storms throughout history. This one was called Hurricane. Soon it would show the aliens why. In her lab, Lisa Crawford made one final adjustment to her shields. In his workshop, Brian Parker tested another impossible engine design. And in space, Earth's old ships kept patrolling, keeping the aliens focused on the wrong things. The storm wasn't just coming. It was already here, hidden and growing stronger every day. The aliens would never know what hit them. Admiral Rachel Wilson stood on the bridge of the Hurricane, humanity's new flagship. The ship hummed with power that the aliens thought was impossible. 12 other ships like it waited in hidden bases across the solar system. Today, they would show their true strength. All ships report ready, her eye announced. Enemy fleets are in position. Rachel looked at the tactical display. The Zarkax had gathered their biggest fleet yet near Mars. They thought they were preparing for their final attack on Earth. They were wrong. Send the signal to all ships, she ordered. Operation Thunder begins now. Across human space, 12 sectors lit up with activity. The new ships, hidden for months, rose from their secret bases. Each one carried weapons and shields that broke all the aliens' rules about what technology could do. Colonel Peter Nash led the first strike. His ship, the Cyclone, appeared behind the Zarkax fleet near Mars. The aliens didn't detect them coming. They couldn't track engines that moved like storms instead of straight lines. Target their command ship, Peter ordered. Show them what human innovation can do. The Cyclone's weapons fired. Instead of normal energy beams, they sent spiral waves of quantum energy that twisted through space. The alien shields, designed to block straight attacks, failed instantly. Sir, his weapons officer called out. Their shields are completely down. They don't understand what hit them. In another sector, Amy Roberts and John Kelly watched their hybrid AI systems go to work. The computer cores they had built thought like humans, creatively, unpredictably. Alien defense systems couldn't cope with attacks that didn't follow their rules. Look at their confusion, Amy said, watching alien ships try to fight back. They keep trying the same things over and over. They don't know how to adapt. The alien commanders sent urgent messages to each other. Their sensors showed impossible things. Human ships that moved in ways they couldn't track. Shields that spun like hurricanes. Weapons that didn't follow the laws of physics. At least, not the laws the aliens understood. Near New Eden Colony, Governor Frank Cooper watched in amazement as human ships appeared from nowhere. After months of hiding underground, fighting with old technology, they finally saw humanity's true power. This is Captain Ellen Martinez. A voice called over the colony speakers. Sorry we're late, Governor. We had to wait until our new toys were ready. The aliens tried to fight back, but their weapons, designed to hit normal shields, scattered off the spinning quantum fields. Their sensors, built to track normal engine signatures, couldn't lock onto ships that moved like storms. Dr. Lisa Crawford's new shields proved better than anyone hoped. The more the aliens attacked, the stronger the shields spun. Energy that should have destroyed the human ships instead made them stronger. Admiral Wilson, Peter Nash reported, the Zarkax fleet is in chaos. They're starting to retreat. Rachel smiled. Don't let them go yet. They need to understand exactly what they've done. What happens when you back humans into a corner? The Hurricane moved into position. Its hybrid AI activated all systems at once. The ship became a real storm in space, quantum fields spinning around it like a tornado of pure energy. Send this message to all enemy ships, Rachel ordered. You thought you knew humans. You thought we would break when you turned against us. Instead, we did what humans always do. We got creative. We broke your rules. We found better ways to do things." The alien commanders watched in horror as their mighty fleet fell apart. Ships that had dominated space for centuries couldn't fight enemies that ignored the proper ways of using technology. In his lab on Earth, Dr. Brian Parker watched the sensor readings with pride. "Look at those engine signatures," he told his team. The aliens said it was impossible to make quantum fields move in spirals. Humans said, "Watch us do it anyway." The battle lasted less than an hour. When it ended, the largest alien fleet ever gathered was in ruins. Not because humans had bigger ships or more weapons, but because they had done what humans do best: found new ways to solve old problems. "Send word to all colonies," Rachel ordered. "The storm has broken. Now we show them what comes after." Across human space, people came out of hiding. They looked up at skies now filled with ships that moved like storms, protected by shields that spun like hurricanes, guided by computers that thought like humans. The aliens had wanted to contain humanity. Instead, they had forced humans to become something new, something stronger. The storm wasn't just a weapon or a strategy. It was humanity's answer to those who thought they could cage them. The Galactic Council chamber had never been so quiet. Ambassador Anna Mitchell walked in, her steps echoing off the marble floors. The alien representatives who had once looked down at her now couldn't meet her eyes. Behind her, through the massive windows, human ships hovered in the sky. Their quantum shields spun like real storms, a constant reminder of how badly the Council had misjudged humanity. 3 days ago, Anna said, her voice carrying to every corner of the room, the Zarkak's fleet launched what they thought would be their final attack on Earth. Instead, they learned why humans tell stories about not waking sleeping giants. The Zarkak's representative's scales had lost their shine. His mighty empire's ships now floated as wreckage around Mars. "How?" he asked. "How did you hide such power from us?" Anna smiled. "We didn't hide our power. You saw exactly what humans can do. You just didn't understand what you were seeing." On the main screen, images appeared. Human ships moving in ways that alien science said was impossible. Shields that grew stronger when hit. Weapons that followed paths no alien could predict. "While you watched us use old ships and basic weapons, we studied everything," Anna continued. "Every battle taught us more about your technology. But unlike you, we didn't just copy it. We made it better." In space, Admiral Rachel Wilson led the Hurricane and its fleet toward the Zarkak's homeworld. They didn't come to destroy, but to show what would happen if the aliens tried to attack humans again. The Zarkak's defense fleet stood ready. Their ships were bigger, more numerous. But they watched helplessly as human vessels danced through their formation, shields spinning like cyclones, engines moving in spiral patterns their sensors couldn't follow. "Your weapons can't hurt what they can't understand," Rachel sent to the Zarkak's commander. "Your sensors can't track ships that don't follow your rules. This is how humans fight. We change the rules." Back in the council chamber, more reports came in. Human ships had appeared in every major system. Not to attack, but to prove they could. The aliens who had tried to contain humanity now faced a force they couldn't even comprehend. Dr. Brian Parker's voice came over the council's speakers. "You thought humans were dangerous because we advanced too quickly. You were wrong. We're dangerous because we think differently. Where you see rules, we see suggestions. Where you see limits, we see challenges." The Mendari chief, still glowing with energy, spoke up. "But our sciences say your technologies are impossible. Quantum fields cannot move in spirals. Shields cannot spin like storms. Human science doesn't care what you say is impossible," Anna replied. "For thousands of years, humans were told things were impossible. Flight was impossible. Space travel was impossible. Every time, humans proved those limits wrong." In orbit around New Eden, Captain Ellen Martinez watched as colony ships returned home. The people who had hidden underground for months emerged to see their sky filled with ships that moved like storms. "This is why you should have studied human history better," Ellen sent to the remaining alien ships. "Humans don't just survive hardship. We grow stronger because of it." Governor Frank Cooper stood with his people, watching the storms in space. "They thought they could break us," he told the crowd. "Instead, they forced us to become something new, something stronger." The Galactic Council sat in stunned silence as Anna laid out humanity's terms. They weren't harsh. Humans didn't want revenge. They wanted change. "From now on," she said, "there will be no more secret meetings about containing species. No more attempts to hold others back because you fear their potential. Humanity will make sure of it." Admiral Wilson's fleet reached the Zarkak's homeworld. Their mighty defense stations watched helplessly as human ships flew past their best weapons. The quantum storms protecting Earth's ships hadn't just changed space combat. They had changed the balance of power in the galaxy. "Remember this day," Rachel broadcast to all alien frequencies. "Remember what happened when you tried to cage a species that had crossed oceans in wooden boats and reached space in metal cans. Remember what humans can do when you force us to show our true strength." The storm that humanity had brought wasn't just about weapons or ships. It was about showing the galaxy that progress couldn't be contained, that creativity and determination would always find a way forward. And as Anna looked at the humbled council members, she knew they finally understood. They had tried to contain a storm, only to learn that humanity itself was the storm they should have feared. 1 year after the Storm War, Earth's spaceports buzzed with activity. Ships from every species in the galaxy now came to trade, to learn, and to understand the humans who had changed everything. Admiral Rachel Wilson stood with Ambassador Anna Mitchell at the opening of the new Galactic Academy. The massive building would house students from all species, teaching them to think in new ways, to see beyond limits. "Did you ever imagine this?" Anna asked, watching alien children mix with human students. "A year ago, they wanted to cage us. Now they send their young to learn from us." Rachel smiled. They finally learned what humans are really good at, turning enemies into friends. Inside the academy, Dr. Brian Parker taught the first class on human innovation. Alien students watched in wonder as he demonstrated how Earth scientists had reimagined quantum physics. The old rules said energy must flow in straight lines, he explained, showing them a spinning shield pattern. Humans asked, why? That simple question changed everything. In orbit, the Hurricane patrolled with ships from former enemy fleets, but now they trained together, learning from each other. Captain Ellen Martinez led these joint exercises, teaching alien crews how to think creatively in battle. "Your ship's engine can do more than you think," she told a Zarkak's captain. "Stop following the old rules. Watch what happens when you let it move like a storm." The Zarkak's ship tried the new pattern. Its quantum drive spun into a spiral, moving faster and more efficiently than ever before. The crew cheered. They were learning to think like humans. On New Eden Colony, Governor Frank Cooper hosted a celebration. The underground shelters where his people had hidden were now museums. Above them, buildings rose higher than before, built with a mixture of human creativity and alien technology. "Look at what we've achieved in just 1 year," he told the crowd. "Not through force, but through teaching others to see possibilities instead of limits." Amy Roberts and John Kelly had opened a new research center where scientists from all species worked together. Their hybrid AI systems now helped solve problems across the galaxy. "Humans aren't special because we're stronger or smarter," Amy explained to a group of alien researchers. "We're special because we never stop asking what if." In the Galactic Council, now reformed and relocated to a neutral space station, Anna Mitchell led the first meeting of the new era. Representatives from all species sat as equals, including newly discovered civilizations that would have been contained under the old rules. "A year ago, we showed you humanity's power through force," Anna said. "Today, we show you our real strength, the power to bring change, to inspire growth, to turn yesterday's impossible into today's normal. The Zarkak's representative, once their greatest enemy, spoke next. We thought containing humanity would make us safer. We were wrong. Learning from humans has made us stronger than we ever were alone. Dr. Lisa Crawford's spinning shield technology had revolutionized more than just defense. Alien doctors now used smaller versions to protect patients during surgery. Farmers used them to protect crops from storms. What had started as a weapon had become a tool for peace. This is what humans do, Lisa told her alien students. We take problems and turn them into solutions. We take barriers and turn them into doorways. Admiral Wilson received a message from deep space. Another civilization had been discovered, young and full of potential. Under the old council, they would have been contained and controlled. Send them this message, Rachel ordered. Welcome to the galaxy. We have much to learn from each other. In the Academy's main hall, a new monument stood. It showed a human hand, and many alien hands joined together, reaching for the stars. Below it, words in every language of the galaxy read, "The only impossible journey is the one you never begin." Anna looked at the monument and remembered the day she discovered the Council's plot to contain humanity. They had feared humanity's potential for change. Now that same potential was helping the entire galaxy grow. We brought the storm, she told a group of visiting diplomats, but not to destroy. We brought it to clear away the old limits, the old fears. Now look at what we've built in its place. Above them, ships of all species flew together, their quantum drives spinning like storms, their shields moving like hurricanes. But these storms no longer meant war. They were symbols of how far they had all come and how far they could still go. Together.